time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster.
Power to the people. We are back to do maintenance. Keep it clean. One offs. Nico, Ed, Ray. Me and this joint, man. I got a question for y'all, man. How do we as men stop suffering in silence?
I think I'm gonna take that off first. I think we can stop suffering in silence first by allowing ourselves to believe that we can not be silenced if we put that outward. Uh, for generations, hell, for all society purposes, for all of our lives, it's been reinforced. We have to be silent. We have to take the brunt as men. We have to be quiet. What matters in our world doesn't really matter because we just have to keep pushing. We have to keep striving. We don't have to outlet that. We have to be emotionless to a degree. Yeah, we have to be stoic. And I think, you know, that's something we have to be vulnerable. That's the one thing. We have to be vulnerable to even get into that place. And that's something that's just come about in the last few years of male vulnerability. And that's a nuanced, or I even say taboo thing to still do, is be vulnerable as men. And I think that's something that we internalize of, no one wants to hear me. No one wants to hear my voice. No one wants to hear my issues. No one wants to hear my problem. I think the first step is allowing ourselves to say, someone will hear me. Like we're creating self-doubt in ourselves, which causes us to also say, yeah, no one wants to hear it, so I'm just not gonna say anything. When it's like, you know what? No, fuck that. I don't care. We kind of need to have that blind rage about our own emotions or the problems we're going through. We need to say that because that's what we're doing in our mind every day, to be quiet. We need to be like, hey, bro, this is what I'm going through. And we have to have that transparency and build on that transparency on ourselves, because the more we do that, it'll show the person to our left, the person to our right, oh, I can do this. I can do this. And I think it'll keep building on that, where we just have to have that belief in ourselves and then put in that effort on ourselves to do it.
Right.
I think it's a combination of two things to make it easier to maybe set up a premise for yourself as a man. One, your voice matters, and not in a cliche way of how it sounds. I mean, you may think it don't matter to them, but you know it matters to you. You know your voice matters to you, so you may not have to worry about them. And in the manner of your voice also matters, you just embrace losing. It's going to happen. You are not undefeated. Nobody is undefeated. So embracing your losses, and the reason I do believe that latter part is very critical, because in the essence of when you do speak up, when you brag, oftentimes as men, when we do that, when we bragging about certain things that we do, we're bragging about the trauma that we went through to get there. So you're already speaking on your loss. Yeah. You already yelling, but the braggadocious piece, and when you start dealing with the hopeful, or not hopeful, when you start dealing with what may come across as repercussions of you being egotistical and stuff, is because you could have said those losses and you could have spoken your voice when you were losing. You need to speak to yourself to understand that. And so embracing that voice, it matters to you, and it's okay to matter to you. If somebody happens to care about what you said, then that's an added benefit. But they can only care about what you said if you said it. And that person, whoever needs to care, it starts with you. And that loss isn't going to be the first, and it's not going to be the last. Losing is okay. Losing is okay, man. Any other situation outside of when it directly affects you, I think you kind of open to it. If a millionaire failed with 5 ideas, but the 6th one worked, all you care about is the 6th one, but the 5 didn't take away his experiences. The 5 didn't take away what he went through, and maybe he made some edits. You just knew about the 6th one. You only knew about that because he may have held it to himself, or maybe he did it, but you talk to you.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and the devil don't ever need an advocate. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate today. To Ed's point about saying, life continues on, right? The show must go on, type shit, right? What's the point in addressing these grievances that I might have, or these issues that I might have, if at the end of the day, for real, I still got to get up tomorrow and go to work. I still gotta put that shit to the side to continue forward in a way that's gonna be beneficial to me in my life.
You just had the point. You put it to the side instead of holding it inside.
Mm-hmm.
Put it to the side.
But if you're not speaking about it,
that's when it speak on it. So you put it to the side. You make it. We're under this lock and key prison cell in our mind of you. It's no point in saying it because it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But if you're already there in that mindset of there's no point in saying it, and it's easier said than done to get past it, but it's still here. You saying it at least gives you an opportunity to take it from here. It's out there, but it's not still only you, or you alleviated it, possibly walking through it. You saying it out loud might trigger your mind to possibly think of other options, or just get it off your chest.
Because actually, if it doesn't matter, why not say it?
You don't lose.
That's
you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah.
The worst they can say is no. All those things apply to your situation. So I stand on you. You could put it to the side, and then the side gives you a little bit less weight.
Well, I'm saying put it to the side. I mean like bury it. I don't mean. But that's what I mean. Because when I'm saying like the silent, like suffering in silence, it's. I got this, and it's all just
you don't
right
want
here.
to suffer.
Yeah.
So why subject if you know you're suffering? That might be a part that I need us to work on with our ego and our pride. You know you're suffering and you're still just suffering.
Yeah. Just stewing in your own suffering.
You're just suffering. So at least I would want you to love yourself enough as a man to try to figure out how not to suffer. And maybe in that moment when you are listening to things like what's wrong, what you might be suppressing, you may not have an answer for that, but you have an answer or an opportunity to try to find something that will alleviate at least some of the suffering versus just it's not working and sitting there. You may not have the bandwidth, you may not have the capability, you may not have somebody that you believe you can say it directly to, but you have outlets to at least like stand on the balcony and scream. You have an outlet to go to, just what might flush your system, try to do what might flush your system.
Yeah.
At least do that just to alleviate the suffering of it. You lost if it's a lose-lose situation, you lost anyway. So what's
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just tough as a nigga who suffers in silence. It's like the barrier between breaking the silence is like the first piece is like for what? Because like why the fuck? Who give a fuck for real? At the end of the day, you a man.
There you go.
Right.
You just said everything I'm saying.
Right. No, I'm with you. That's A. And then, but the other side is like, if I say this, is niggas looking at me crazy, or looking at me less than, or looking at me as weaker, or looking at me as you don't have a handle on all the shit I thought you had a handle on.
That's now back into what he said about ego and pride. Can't give a fuck about it. And that's the hard part about all of this. We can't give a fuck about that. Like, you see me now as weaker. You
may not have needed to be around me in the first place. And I want to take a
because if you love me,
yeah,
you gonna see me weaker. You gonna see me stronger. You gonna see me equal.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a really brief second to address that for y'all that are going through it and you just jump to that they didn't love you because you went through some. Did you tell them? Don't hold somebody to something that you didn't let them know about. So if they saw you as different, we may not be able to cleanly land on that conclusion of whether or not they gave a fuck about you because you may not have delivered the message to where it was ready for them to understand it because you holding it to yourself. So what you did let possibly leak out was only a small piece of the puzzle anyway. So how they reacted to what information they had, because you know how we do, man, what's good with you, man? All good, or same shit, different toilet. And that they just supposed to pick up off of that. Like you didn't tell the whole story. Maybe you're not ready, but at least, man, hey, man, yeah, I'm just kind of down right now. It's more than what we usually do, man. I'm kind of going through it right now. You may not have the capacity to say what exactly it is. It may not be the time right now, but you gave me the space after you said it to you. I'm going through something right now.
Yeah.
You said it. I'm going through something
So
right now.
now
Cool.
I'm aware. Yeah.
I'm aware. So I know that there's a lot of men that go straight to, they weren't looking out for me. They didn't care when I was down. You didn't say anything, bro. You didn't say anything, because if you said something, even to you, you at least know how to listen to you. I hope you're not just saying shit where you want to hear it. I want you to listen.
Yeah.
I want you to listen, right?
It sounds like y'all are calling for radical honesty.
Yes.
From us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that at all times? Like every time you feel something, you say something?
No.
No.
At all. At least it's a continuous work in progress. Your level of radical honesty is possibly going to wane or grow depending on what your growth looks like and what your bandwidth looks like. It's not we may get locked in this mix of everything is a finite answer. I thought it through this time and this is what worked. That worked right there at that particular time. It's not 100% the same context. You might have a little bit more bread this time. You might have a little bit less. You might have someone as a partner. You may not have, but you have enough to where you know, if I go too far 3 days without working out, I start to act like this, and then the stress build up. Or if I haven't taken a PTO day, use your PTO days, and not just burn them just to burn them.
Yeah.
Use your sick days.
Yeah.
If you use your sick hours, because you know when they cut you, you don't get them back anyways.
They ain't paying you for it.
Thank you. All right. So checking in on that, it's like, man, radical honesty. How can you expect somebody to help you if you can't be honest with yourself? So you gotta have to start being honest somewhere. You want help. I don't like. This is where it gets really
But
far
I
out.
don't want help, nigga. I'm a man.
That's what I'm saying. But you do. But you because you want the middle when you got through it. That's what I'm saying. You want to brag. You expressing your trauma when you say, "Man, I did this by myself. I did it." It's a big bragging point. No, it's not. You don't get no medal for you subjected yourself to.
But that's the problem. Everybody has their own thing where they playing this race of the game of the struggle Olympics.
Yeah,
I'm
not playing that.
Everybody playing the game.
I want to win. That's not the game I want to win.
Yeah.
You feel that's not the game I want to win. I don't think you want to win. You didn't want to participate.
Yeah, you don't want to participate. But the thing is, because you're participating by force or whatever, you're now subjecting yourself to harder things, and you're compounding it in your head like, yeah, everything I've been through. Praise me.
Subjecting yourself before we get to subjecting, if you're going through it by force, I would think that it's more understandable than if you were subjecting yourself to it. If you were stuck in that, if you were in this situation and your options were limited to none, that's the most easiest way for somebody to understand what you're going through. He had no other option. Cool. It's when you start having options that the subjectivity to me comes in. So if you chose to go do that, you chose to take that risk, you should still be able to talk about it, but you chose. So if you're choosing, if you are choosing a struggle in a respective manner that you have maybe an option to talk it out, you don't come back and you bypass talking. Don't then expect me to give you a medal of honor because you chose to bypass talking. You added that stress.
I gotta keep it clean for myself and for my fellow brothers out there. Silence is death. Silence is death. Speak. We don't speak enough. We don't say enough. We don't give enough context. We don't give enough evidence. We don't give enough education just about us, where we are mentally, spiritually, what we got going on, what we think we need to have going on, what needs to happen next. We don't say a lot of these things. And we die early because of that.
If you
we
keep
get
it to
heart
yourself,
disease
because of that.
You
have a stroke because of that. You have high blood pressure
because of that. Like, it's literally death. It's not. I'm not being about and I'm saying this out loud so I can say it and hear it and play it back and hear myself say it to reinforce the thought. Silence is death, bro. I be fucking up, holding shit, like just holding shit, because it's like the reality of life is you do got to keep going, right? But it's trying to find a balance of like, how do I feel what's going on in my life while not letting those feelings determine what my actions is going to be. Like, so how do I separate this in a clean way that's also still healthy?
Do you think you overwork that? And I'm asking specifically you and just in general as men, because to your point, if you keep it to yourself, you're gonna die by yourself. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
For sure.
If you keep it to yourself, you're going to die by yourself, and you're going to die thinking that nobody supported you when the entire time you wanted support. If you want, if closed mouths don't get fed, then don't act like that doesn't apply to your feelings. So then going forward with that, when you're working on, do you think as men we do extra work to handle what it is that you just said? Like you doing the extra work to make sure that it doesn't come from this particular location, as opposed to like, yeah, man, this might have motivated me. And I try to make it as healthy as possible, but it might have motivated me to me being down is like, all right, man, I gotta lock in. I don't want to feel like this no more.
Yeah.
Because I would think that's supposed to be the premise for a lot of what you're doing. In the good times, I want to keep feeling like this. In the bad times, I don't want to feel like this no more. So you do something to either get away or maintain. So do you think we overwork it because you just assume that it's going to come from a place of trauma? And it's not good if it's possibly a fruit of a poisonous tree?
Nah, I think on the motivating side, I don't think we have a problem with that.
Right.
Like,
because everyone likes winning.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, oh, that's fucked up. I don't like that. I'm finna go. And we also experience.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm not fucking with this. I'm finna go balls to the wall. Boom.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, though, it's like whatever happens, when it doesn't trigger emotion, when it triggers something else, when it trigger anger, when it trigger resentment, when it triggers some shit like that, now it's like, I can't do that.
Men, anger and resentment are a part of emotions. That's the part of the problem that we have. We say, oh, it triggers emotions, and then we separate anger and resentment. I'm not saying
I'm with you,
but it is where anger and resentment are a part of those emotions. And that is going through the emotions to figure out, and that's why it's leading right back into what you're saying. Like, I don't want to deal with that. That's the emotion you don't want.
Yeah.
Like, you have to deal. It goes back to what you said in your question.
I'm scared of the monsters under my bed, yo. That's all it
is. It is where it's the healthy ways. The healthy ways of what you were saying in your original question before with that is that is how you separate it. That anger is the separator. Okay, anger, resentment. I would never want to feel that because that's bringing me down. So let me feel what it is and recalibrate. That's the word. Is recalibrating. Okay, this is making me angry. This is making me resent something. This is making me sad about something. Let me understand it. Let me work through it. Now let me take it. Let me turn it around. And how can I feel it? Not as spite, but as healing.
Do you say something as you're working through it, or do you work through it and then let folks know?
So, now, no. This is the thing. Both is to me, if you're very, very, very analytical in your emotions and very capable of doing so. Not a lot of people are able to speak in the process of going through it. And that's the thing, is that you have to get to, maybe it's a fictional percentage. You got to get 80% of the way before you can finally speak. It might be you got to get 40%.
I say, okay, real quick. I say both simply for the fact that we're not in practice of saying anything anyways. So in order to promote that, it's that type of thought, everything we said so far has been the thought process that's been passed down for many generations before us. So you can't go back to then making another radical change of just like, oh, I got this perfection piece. That's the reason why we're in the first place. If there was a blueprint for it, we should have been following the blueprint, but it doesn't exist. Now all of a sudden, you're gonna be the first nigga out of all niggas in the history of niggas that then goes, you know what? I know how to say it at this particular time, even though I had no practice.
Yeah.
I didn't have a father that came to practice. Like, you know, I'm saying in general, get in the practice of saying it, and then I would rather you say it and then work out how to say it, and because you're regularly doing it, but you're regularly saying something. Versus now we're adding another layer of thinking, how do I say it?
Because that's where I was going. Because like, to your point, you got to get 80% of the way through before you can speak.
No. And I was saying I just said official. You may have to.
No,
I
get you.
You don't know.
I'm saying, but even in that sense, right? Let's say somebody got to get halfway through the process before they can say something. Niggas is in the dark that whole 50%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to figure out how to do that on the front end.
Say Marco.
So you can hear
Hold
the
up. Say Marco, because I don't know where you at if you don't give me a location. Say Marco.
You might be a rapper.
You don't know where you at if you don't say say it, bro. That if that echolocation gonna bounce off of some wall, might bounce down some tunnel. You need to hear you first and foremost.
Yeah.
Because you instead of saying Marco, you opened another door to figure out how to say something that you don't know how to figure out. So if you don't know how to figure out, how you gonna say it? Yeah. How you gonna say it, man? You got to at least get in the practice of talking to you. So I would rather you get a stool, sit in the bathroom, and look in the mirror, at least to start. Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Man, write it down.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
man, and then you get to that refined piece because don't bypass the people that might have the ability to show you love because you don't love yourself. Mm-hmm. Say Marco. Bro, you know, I don't believe we are in practice, and I don't believe that we are going to be able to start working on any of the trauma that we believe. You've had me on record saying all of us got daddy issues. I don't care if he was there or not. Every single one of you got daddy issues. We haven't even began to approach even on this pod just yet because we're addressing men. But even in addressing men, all of us have mommy issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All of us had mommies. We just kind of love them a little bit more, so we bypass that word to Chris Rock. They get Mother's Day, Father's Day, some ties and socks, right? And that's the man thinking of it in the process of it, whether he was there or not, whatever. So you have sins of the parents that have been downloaded into you, and then whatever you dealt with, and you telling me that your voice is gone. I just want you to be vocal with yourself somehow. Somehow. Because you wanted somebody there. Nobody wants to die alone.
Nobody want to do this shit by themselves.
At all.
That's like everybody got friends. Everybody got their partners, their family, their partner. Nobody, like, we're not meant to go through this life alone. Like that, no bullshit. That's why prison is so fucked up. Niggas is not designed to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like on some less human interaction.
Yes.
In the shoe type shit for a time. Like that's cruel and unusual punishment to a social being.
Yes.
You can't do it. So like, I'm with you.
But if you would take that and then apply it to your mentality.
Yeah.
As a man, you would take those same living conditions, and if you put yourself in a shoe on a regular basis, you an ad said.
Yeah.
On a regular, you not even an asset. You in the psych ward in your own mind. You put yourself in the white jacket on a regular. That part.
It's scary work, but it's so easy to do. Yeah. And I think that's why it's like
you don't like the girl that's too easy,
huh?
You don't like the girl that's too easy. You don't like winning no games that's too easy. Sometimes you question easy money.
This is true.
Now all of a sudden we do it like the conflict of that. You don't want. You really, that could also be part of the ego too. We don't want nothing easy because we're men, right? But how you determine that to be healthy, you don't want nothing else that you take pleasure in to be easy. Mm-hmm. So unless you taking pleasure in the pain that you put in yourself through, I would think not that easy either. It's the easy route because it told you it is. It's the easy route.
It's the easiest thing to do.
No, it's the easy route because that's what you know you've been successful doing it, even in a bad situation. Yeah. Right? But if you have to lose an arm and save the body, you keep telling yourself that's what it is, but your body is dying. Because you lost an arm, you didn't suture the cut. You still bleeding. With your arm on the ground. You didn't make sure you adjusted to it. No, so you just letting the body start to rot from it. No. You don't want nothing else easy. Why? And I'm saying all this for y'all listeners. Like, I understand it's easy. It's a work process for me. I want it to sound like it's something simple, but it's something that we try to promote.
Yeah, no, even sure. I'm telling niggas now. I'm asking niggas for myself. I'm not asking niggas. Let's just talk about like, bro, like I be dead like quiet about shit. Like And a lot of it is childhood shit. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, we ain't really got time for that type shit. Like single parent household, niggas got shit to do.
Yeah.
Your feelings like the last thing on the list be.
Yes.
So and actually let me not say that actually because my mom never said that to me. I may have just internalized that myself. Like seeing all the shit that you going through and dealing with, I'm not even gonna add to it.
That's fair.
I'm just.
That's very much.
But then it turned into I just don't talk about my feelings.
That's fair.
Like generally. So now at 30, in relationships, homies, all this type of shit, like even me and you, at a certain point, I had to like sit down with a nigga and be like, "Hey, bro, what's the shit? Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, do you see this or do you see that? Yeah. I see this and you, but that took 4 months.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? Of doing this before we actually got the. So it's like I'm trying to figure out just what's the process of like. Maybe it don't have to be immediate, like, oh, I felt that, let me say something. Because that could become reactionary. But like, how do I get to a space of being like, I'm feeling this, I know I'm feeling that. I need to communicate it in a decent amount of time to where it's like I'm not harping on it too long, but I'm also not being reactionary and just like firing off the first thing because I felt some type of way.
I'll let you go first.
I was gonna say, this is the thing, that right there, that's the problem we all have, is that we don't do the work. I'll be honest. The answer to that is we don't do the work. We don't do the work of going through and figuring out those emotions because we're too quick to be reactionary. And we're too quick to be reactionary because life ain't stopping. Guess what? You just pissed me off, and I still got to see you for another hour.
Yeah.
And that's why it's one of those situations where I say it's like if you're dealing with something like your shorty or whatever, right? We need to have the outlet that we always talk about: a diary, calling a homie, a voice message to yourself, a memo, or anything. We need to do those practices first, so then with ourselves eternally. So then we can do our checks and balances, because now I got my cool, calm, level head. Because guess what? If I approach this with any anger, it's gonna be reactionary. If I come with a cool, calm, level head, okay, we can talk about this. I can say, hey, this didn't make me feel good. I didn't like this that you did. And here's why. Because that's the thing. When we reactionary, we leave out the why. We leave out the context of why we're upset.
I don't have the why in the moment, I'm not saying shit.
And that's a part of it.
That's where I run into a lot.
And that's why we need to go. The thing is, we can't give you the why because we just so fueled. And that's the thing with everybody, because that's what rage is, blind rage to a degree. We just fueled. We have to have the know-how now, especially when we speaking about something.
To bring it down.
And understand where we at. And then say, hey, this is what it was. This was X, Y, and Z. I don't feel that way now, but this is how I felt. And I'm letting you know that because guess what? This can't happen again. I don't want this to happen again, or let's find a compromise on what this situation was so we can have an understanding of moving forward positively. And that's the problem, is that in reality, niggas ain't got the time to do the work they feel.
Okay. I genuinely don't want this to come across as anything other than my perspective. I don't want to take away from the knowledge that y'all just said. From my eyes, I feel like all that work that you just put out there is still us maybe missing the point. And what I mean by that is what y'all were highlighting in it. You're going through it, you frustrated. Everything had some type of, it's not good. Niggas express themselves when they're happy. Other than like, I need us, and when I say y'all, this is generally, I need us to know how to express ourselves other than with our dicks. Okay. You can tell you can work on that by also learning the practice ways of saying you happy.
Yeah.
Of saying this made you feel good.
Just getting
you had a joyous moment. You consistently saying like, man, this was a dope day. I like that I did this, and this today. I like that you was with me as we did this, and this today. Letting people know, because you letting yourself know this made you feel good. Yeah. We don't do that. Yeah. So we get to the point where it's like, damn, it's really fucked up. Of course we ain't got no practice. You don't know how to dunk now when you haven't stretched in the last 3-4 years. And the older that you get, the less flexibility that you have. That's mental too.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You gonna tear an ACL trying to tell somebody how you feel because you geeked up. You know, now you either tear yours or you tear whoever is next to you. Yeah. And they weren't prepped for that. So you done put them through an injury. Like, you don't say how you feel when it's good. We as men fail at that, bro. Other than with our dicks, with our dicks, we speak when we're mad, upset, happy, because we just gonna run through everything. That's not the only way to talk. That's not the only way to talk. When's the last time you sat there and was like, bro, unless somebody asks you, that's what I'm saying. Have you, in your history of you, hit somebody up, grabbed the phone and said, man, I just want to let you know, bro, I had a really good day. I just wanted to share this with somebody. Man, I breakfast at Walmart.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. But why?
Now,
Why?
like
you
reality,
hit even your girls. Man, hey man, you may not have been around today, man. I went to Waffle House, man, and man, I just had a good time at Waffle House, drove around for a little bit, man. I had a good day, man. I just went.
Now I see. Now me personally, to answer that question, why I don't do that, because I don't know what that person going through. Me coming on and telling, and I understand it. Me coming on and telling you I had a good day.
Tell yourself you had a good day.
I tell myself all the time.
Okay.
But that's what I mean. But telling somebody else that.
Okay.
If I'm telling you I had a good day, you just had the shittiest day in the world. You're gonna take that a different way, because it's like, why are you, nigga?
Cool. You tell yourself you had a good day.
I look myself in the mirror, dog. Like, I do the work.
Okay,
I talk to myself.
if you have a working, where are you missing it when you're upset?
Oh, wait, when I'm upset.
If you can tell yourself when you had a good day and you have the form and style of communication, what is missing when you're upset?
Oh, well, see, that wasn't me asking the question. When I'm upset, I know how to express that I'm upset. Expressing I'm upset, I can express that.
You can express that? Okay. Because with the way that I interpreted how you just broke it
I'm
down,
answering the question. I can answer for me. I'm answering the question
give an example. For those listening, like, you tell yourself, how do you talk to yourself?
Oh, bro, I talk to myself more than I talk to people. That's the thing. Me, I just have conversations. I talk out loud. I internal talk. I have peace with my inner self. Not peace, but I have time with my inner self. Where I'm talking, I'm a thinker. I think my brain is always firing. So I'm always talking to myself. Come up with a plan, come up with something to execute, something to do. So everything I'm working on is a movement of something to do. And I'm always checking in with myself.
Okay.
Like, I'm checking in with myself to know that I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
I'm checking in with myself to know, nigga, you doing some dope shit right now, dog. You happy. Because guess what? Me, I always tell you, my parents come from in the church. I'm always thankful, because I know, like, I'm big on that. Like, bro, I'm blessed. I wake up, I know that. I say it every day. So those are my examples. I had those communications with myself.
Okay.
And that's why I say, for me, I don't say that to other people, because guess what? If I come around talking about how good I'm doing too many times, and you're not in that place, and I know that, that's the thing. I know that, and that's my compromise. That's suffering and whatever, just because, again, if I'm speaking too many times of goodness and you having some issues of hardship and you talking to me about your hardships, one, you're either gonna look at me to help, don't know how to express that help. So then I either feel the brunt of need to do it, or you're gonna feel a way of jealousy or envy, because goddamn, this nigga's always happy.
And you're not wrong, but this is also why I'm on the side of you gotta embrace losses. Because the same way that we can put in a thought process of what if and continue, all of our what ifs usually spin into something of it's not liked, whether by me or by them.
Yeah.
What if you said how your day was going and it was good, and then they get motivated to not only share with you, but then also start that process of we speak good things into the atmosphere.
Oh, that's fire.
That's fire, right? But most of your man what ifs always start leaning towards it could go bad really quick. That's where I'm saying be okay with the loss. If it went bad and they had an issue, as long as you're not coming over here like braggadocious, I'm just saying, like, keeping it very simple on the man. I had a good day. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy. And then if somebody respond back, oh, I'm not having a good day. Well, hopefully, if you expressing you in a good mood, you might have enough good cheer to maybe touch bases with them, because that's what you would want them to do if it was you. But you can't do that if you don't say anything. That's why I'm expanding it beyond just the upset, the negative, because that's where the man mind goes. Take the loss. Take the loss. By the time you as a man got to saying something to somebody, you already put them in a circle of people that you love, and you think that they love you back. So it's not like you just saying it's a stranger. Yeah. But we seal up around loved ones. I'm also taking into account, if you shared that with somebody, you've at least had a convo with you. It's two folds to it. So by the time you cross that hurdle, I don't want it to come across like this is just a simple thing, but it's just look at how much that incorporates and what that can do for you. You spoke to self before you said it to them. You experienced it, good or bad. So now when you are saying this, you are in the practice of putting it out there because you don't want to be alone. This is a great game, man.
Nah, bro,
They got a timeout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't.
But no, we good, actually. We good. That was it. I thought to have a quick little, you know what I'm saying, power out with the bros real quick while we here. I think that was
Believe in yourself,
For sure.
man. And if you don't believe in yourself, be okay with saying that there's some shakiness because we want to touch bases with you, man. We want to touch bases with you. This is another opportunity for us to give you a reminder that Keep It Clean is a platform that is also a community. It's also a movement. It's an idea process, man. It's an idea process. Y'all cleaning yourselves the same way we are, and we're trying to clean up everything that's around us. These are narratives.
Yeah.
These are traumas that's been passed down.
Yeah.
And so the same way we can unite on solidarity for the good things that we do as men, it's like, man, yeah, talk to yourself, talk to your brothers, grab him. And if you can't, push him to somebody that can. Grab yourself. And if you can't, please let us know. Let us know.
I'm gonna send it off with this. Choose life.
Yeah.
Choose life. You know what I'm saying? Keep it clean.
And every time you see me, I keep it clean like a coaster. And every time